Now, before we talk a little bit about some of the science that we suspect they're going to do, I'll take time out for this is a paid commercial break here about the people who've made this all happen. So there's a lot of words up on the slide here, but this is an international endeavor. Large, great observatories, like Laura mentioned, are pretty much all built with international support these days. And so I think Spitzer may be the last such observatory that will ever be built just by one country. They're all future missions are all international partnerships. The lead for this was the Goddard Space Flight Center, but we had contributions from almost every other NASA center. ESA supplied us with an instrument and the ride, the Ariane 5, which is the world's most successful, reliable rocket of its class now. So that's very comforting to know. You have a nice, safe ride. Canada supplied that fine guidance sensor. Both ESA and Canada are supplying people to work at Space Telescope Science Institute. So there'll be scientists on staff there. And then the main industrial contractor was Northrop Grumman, and they worked with Ball Aerospace and many other companies to make this come together. And of course, like Hubble, this will be the science program will be run by the Space Telescope Science Institute, but they will also fly the bird, as they say, this one. So it will actually be operated from Baltimore, where STSCI is. Hubble was run out of Goddard. So speaking of where things were built, this is just a chart we show of all the companies across the U.S. that had some say or they contributed to Webb. And we like to take this around with us if we're traveling to any place in the country to try to mention if there's anybody nearby. Of course, here in Los Angeles, you have Northrop Grumman nearby, but there are other companies in the area. One last bit on the commercial. Some people like to talk about NASA spin-offs. I view that they're valuable. They're a side benefit. You don't do these things to get spin-offs. There would be cheaper ways to get them. But it is nice to know that these incredible mirrors we had to make and invent have allowed another company to use the metrology technology to make something that eye doctors can use now for improved LASIK measurements. We're using a lot of the other metrology techniques for higher tech business. In what I consider an amazing piece of future heritage, the application-specific circuits we had to invent were invented early enough in the program that they actually got to use one on the last servicing mission for Hubble. So we invented something and sort of gave it to our predecessor. That was pretty interesting. And then the detectors we had to build have become the foundation for missions after us and will be for future missions as well.